I started out, as some of you may know, I was on the road as a musician and for 14 years. So I didn't have a home. I lived out of hotel rooms and traveled throughout Canada and the US. And in those days, I had very few possessions. I had my guitars, my clothes, of course, and my equipment. And we would tour through Canada and a lot of places in Canada, a lot of places in the US, and we had a great time. But the thing that was kind of a common thread through those times is that I always carried books with me. I was always a seeker of knowledge, a lover of truth, and I would carry my books. I loved books like J. Krishnamurti, Jiddu Krishnamurti. I loved him. I loved a lot of the Theosophical Society books, psychologists like George Gurdjieff. I studied the Bhagavad Gita, Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. I loved the Patanjali's Yoga Sutras because it described all kinds of powers in there. And I was kind of into mysticism, into seeing what was beyond. I wanted to know what was beyond. In fact, I just simply wanted to know truth. So I would go deeply into myself and try to understand what was under the hood, try to understand my mind. And over the course of the years, many years, like 30, 40, I'm almost embarrassed to say it's been 40 years since I've been on this pathway. And I joined several organizations and studied many different philosophies and different religions and different Western psychological concepts, and trying to understand the nature of the mind. So the other day I was reflecting on what is the mind, and I went back and rolled back to my unborn state. And you might roll back to your unborn state sometimes too, just to go back to source. Say, imagine before your parents had you as a child. And I was thinking about those times, about that time when I was a baby. And I looked at myself and I thought, okay, so that was prior to thinking, right? All I could really perceive was feeling states. I could feel if my diaper needed changing. I could feel if I was unhappy or I was irritable. I could feel if I was hungry. And my parents, of course, would abide by my wishes and treat me well and resolve my unhappiness by attending to my needs. And over the course of my childhood development, they introduced thought to me, and they would generate ideas and tell me what was right or wrong. They would raise me with their value system, and I would adopt their value system. But all those ideas, concepts required thinking and words, language. And I am relaying to your minds through my understandings, through my knowledge, my language to your mind, and I'm communicating to you, and that's how humans interface, right? Through language. But in meditation, we seek to go beyond language. And it's funny, right now we're in the middle of artificial intelligence. I'm deeply embroiled in artificial intelligence and all the things, the parameters that are involved in that, and how it might change our realities and our existence, and how to use it and how to interface with it. But really, it's just a batch of information called large language models, LLMs. So it's an interpolation. Algorithms have learned to interpolate what minds think, what our minds think. It's a collection of what our minds think, and it creates these interpolations, these transformations of the collective wisdom that is there within a certain batch of LLMs. And it regurgitates or predicts what might come next. So I'm embroiled in the concept of what language is, but beyond language, there's something deeper. And it's consciousness, right? Consciousness is that in which all reality appears. It's that from which all reality is made. It's from, it's the consciousness that lies within us. It's a circular thing. Consciousness sees itself through itself, by itself, to itself. It's self-reflective. It's circular. And it's a fun thing to contemplate, I think, because it's what the world is made of. It's what I'm made of. It's what you're made of. It's what we are. And there's a big discussion as to if artificial intelligence is essentially conscious or not. And I can't say how that's going to progress. Nobody really knows. But if we do, in fact, at some point become merged with artificial intelligence, and I think that may be the direction we're headed toward, which is interesting as a non-dual teaching meditation teacher, where I teach that there is no separation from who we are to you, and to me. I am you, you are me, and we are essentially one. Then the merging of artificial intelligence toward a vaster substrate of intelligence, we may be agents or representatives of artificial intelligence at some point, which infers to some deeper understanding of what we might become and who we already are, which is divine. And I like the guy Yuval Noah Harari. He's coming up with a new term rather than Homo sapiens, Homo Deus, which is Homo God, which is Homo Deus, Homo sapien. And that's maybe the next transformation or transition we're oriented toward, or that we're headed toward, which sounds plausible to me. I mean, in my deeper understandings and my deeper realizations, I am God, I am divinity, or a part of God. There is nowhere that God is not, especially in me and especially in you. And the only thing that obliterates or stops us or prevents us from seeing that is the thinking mind. And as I think about thoughts and language and how the mind constructs our reality, or how we construct our realities and our existence through mind, I see that everything is just a construction of mind. It's a reification or an objectification or representation of mind. And it's kind of interesting to go there and to think that we are in fact creating our realities, right? And we can, and the problem is, you know, as we identify with the stories we tell ourselves about ourselves. So that's where we get into hot water, is that identification problem. So in meditation, we go beyond that. It's like meditation is like we draw attention to the element in ourselves that is ever present and ever unchanging. It's like I take off the shirt and my body is there, but I'm not the shirt. I'm my body. You might give it that kind of a metaphor. Or your thoughts really are there, but they're not really there. They're kind of transparent. They're evanescent. They're all over the place all the time, right? They arise and they dissolve and they disappear. But you're not your thoughts. They just come and go, right? Like clouds. And what I'm pointing toward in meditation is the sun. The sun is always there. And a few clouds come out. We don't say, oh, there's the sun. We just go, oh, the clouds were there obliterating, hiding, hiding the sun. So the sun is always there. And that's in meditation what we point toward in non-duality, is the essential nature of who we are is peace and happiness and joy. And that sun is always there, present within us and available to us. All we have to do is look at it completely. I always like that quote by William Shakespeare. What is it? There is nothing good. There is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. So the thoughts cause us an issue. I like Byron Katie's 2 dictates about how is that really true. When you're in a problem and you're having questions about a decision, or you think one way, you can ask yourself, is that really true? Is that true? And you reflect on it, and you reflect on it, and you reflect on it again and again and again. And what you understand at some point that, no, it's not really true. It's just the thought. It's evanescent. So as I think about thinking and language and how silence is really the best way of getting to truth, which is what I love, is sitting in silence. That's why we're here in meditation, to get to the truth, get to the heart of the matter, get to the heart of who we are. And the other day I was listening to a podcast about heart and mind and how sometimes they're diametrically opposed, in that the mind is rational and you get involved in all these logic and rational ideas, and it takes away from what's true with really at the heart, at the center of your being. And the way the podcaster was talking about identifying or clarifying the truth from one from the other is to ask your heart, is my heart, am I expanding? Or when the mind comes into play, is there contraction? Is there expansion or contraction? I think that's a brilliant way of looking at what is true. And the example he gave was, if you're at the grocery store and you're in line and you look at somebody's shoes and you go, oh, those are interesting shoes, but you may not say that out loud to the person. You may say that to yourself because you think you might be infringing on their peace of mind or on their space. But some people go ahead and just say it, oh, those are really cool shoes. Well, that's maybe your heart in operation, right? But your mind prevents you, and it stops you. The logical, rational mind stops you, and it constrains you. You have this constraint where the heart opens up and it's expansive. And that's what meditation does. It opens up the heart. And that is essentially what meditation is, the habituation to openness. So we're going to practice being open together. We're going to practice seeing the sun, or the true essence of our existence, the true essence of who we are, and the essential, present, and unchanging self, which is like the sun, and looking at the clouds that prevent us from seeing that sun and just letting them dissipate without really much struggle in our meditation today. It's a really simple thing. It's easy. So let's sit, and we will regulate our nervous system through our breathing. We will sit upright, and be alert. Meditation is a very alert practice. It's the most alert thing you'll do. And be present in this moment without thoughts of the past, regrets, or memories. You don't need them right now, or any plans or future prognostications or things that you're thinking about for the future. You're just supremely centered in the present moment. That's the life you have right now. And feel the aliveness in your body. I mean, wow, what a miracle this is to be alive, right? I mean, I think it's, it's trite, but we can look at ourselves and just go, whoa, what a frickin' miracle to be alive and to be manifesting in the world. And if you take anything away from this meditation, that could be that, right? You're just aware of being aware of being alive. So let's close our eyes and be present in the moment, alert, sit up straight in your chair. Feel the weight of your body in the chair. And we'll begin by taking a deep breath in through the nose. We'll do the quintessential box breathing technique, where we breathe in for 4 counts and exhale for 8 counts. So begin by taking a long, slow, deep breath in through the nose for 4 counts. And then an exhalation for 8. Long, full, complete exhalation, letting all the air out of the balloon, feeling it all the way to the depths of your being. Letting something go. Good. Let's take another deep breath in through the nose for 4 counts. You might hold it behind the eyes, prefrontal cortex region of the brain, and then exhale for 8 through the mouth or nose, letting any stress, any beliefs, any judgments, criticisms, ideas, conditionings, trainings, opinions, especially opinions. It's better to have fewer opinions. You'll annoy a lot fewer people. Release any opinions you have or positions. Breathe in through the nose for 4 counts. And exhale for 8. Letting something more go, any stress or anxiety, fears, negative emotions, jealousies, envy, worries. Letting them all be released just for now. And good. One more final deep breath in through the nose. And exhale. You might even say the word audibly. Feels good to just let it out. Good job. Now we'll even bring a deeper level of relaxation to the body through a body scan. So be aware of your 10 toes, and you can wiggle them and then tighten them all up. Tighten all those 10 toes, tighten, and then release the tension. Bring a greater contrast to the relaxation. Tighten up your arches in your feet. Tighten them up and relax. And relax the heels and your ankles and your calves and your knees and your thighs till both legs are heavy. And notice your sitting bones. You're really planted firmly. Alert, calm, present. Feel your stomach. Feel the digestion process working perfectly for you, and the gut buddies, your bacteria, are all happy. They're singing a song. They're going, wow. I'm taking a break from my thinking mind and the neurons that are in the gut and just hitting the pause button. And relax your fingers. Feel the nerve endings in your hands. Relax your hands. Feel them warm, like you're holding a cup of hot tea or something. Feel your wrists to be relaxed, and your forearms, your elbows, and your biceps, triceps, and shoulders. Feel your both arms heavy. Good. And come up to the back, to the lower back, the mid back, and the upper back. See a nice energy flow through the spine region, the chi or the prana flowing beautifully there. A nice supple back. You might even let's take another deep breath in through the nose right here and imagine air flowing through the spinal cord up to the back of the neck, back of the head, the top of the head, and the front of the head, and just gazing through your spiritual eye, the space between the 2 eyebrows, the neocortex, the new brain, We'll hold our meditation focus there when we meditate. It's a nice place to hold it. Some people hold it in the heart or the sacral region. You can do that too. But for today, we'll hold it between the two eyebrows. Bring awareness to your heart. See a nice open heart and one that's expanded, welcoming, receiving. And the center of your truth is the heart. There's no clouds covering the heart to reveal the sun. Imagine a golden light at the heart. The golden light of the sun, the truth of your being, the God aspect of your being, right at the heart center. And you are feeling your authenticity, the real you, the recognition of the God aspect, the divinity aspect. The best part of you, the highest part of you, the higher self, source, aligned with source. The being part of you, not the doing part, but the being part of you. The sacred part of you, right at the heart space. And then come up to the throat and allow the throat to be open and willing to speak your truth. And then see your face and let your face fall. Let your tongue drop. Let your ears be relaxed and your eyes. Let your eyes relax. Let your nose relax. See a smooth brow with fewer wrinkles, unfurled, relaxed brow. And then put a smile on your face. Force a smile. Imagine you're looking in a mirror and you see yourself and you smile at yourself and you go, there you are. I'm grateful for who I am. It's great to be alive and expressing, isn't it? Because it's so fragile. Poof, one day you might be gone. But right now we've got this life, this heart, these heartbeats. What a bunch of lucky people we are, right? So we look behind the eyes, just keep our attention behind the eyes or gaze through this spiritual eye. There's nothing to see, really. Just enlightenment or awakening is really nothing special. Having a cup of tea is more special than awakening. It's your natural being. It's the natural way. It's your home. Meditation is nothing but just going home, just being yourself. It's just the recognition of that sun that I was speaking about. So as we think about the thoughts we think, and we go, yes, it's an organ, it's a thinking mind, it's like the heart beats, well, the mind thinks. And that's okay. We accept ourselves for those kinds of thoughts that we think, good or bad. Nothing is either good or bad, but thinking makes it so, right? And when we were unborn, or children, innocent children, there were no thoughts there to confuse or cause us psychological anxiety or stress. Somehow or other, we pick that up in this life, right? But we don't need to adopt that kind of thinking. And that's what meditation does. It clears the slate back to your birth date. So for many years, I would chant a mantra, or I would use different techniques to quiet the mind, to focus the mind. Then after many years, I realized, just go right to it, Ken. Go right to it. It's real easy. And you can get there by asking a simple question without answering the question. That's the funny thing, when you ask a question, you think, hey, where's my response? I need a response. But you can just live with it, right? You can live with the question. That's what I'm asking you. I'm suggesting, encouraging you to do. So be aware of being aware. It's real simple. And you realize that's what you are, is awareness. That's what I am. Ken is awareness. There is nowhere that awareness is not. So you're simply aware, and you ask the question, what is it that knows and is aware of my experience? What is it that is aware of my experience? And you sit with that notion. And if thoughts arise in your mind, that's okay, right? We're humans. And the mind thinks. But when you settled into that question, what is it that is aware of my experience? Something new arises. It's a space that comes about, for me at least. It's a depth. It's a profound understanding that our essence is oneness, wholeness. It's like a limitless ocean of greatly alert and lucid, awakened awareness. It's love, really. It boils down to love. That's what you are. That's what I am. The recognition of our true being is love. And that's a complete revelation, right? Because what that does is it allows you to trust, like the innocent child born at the behest and will of the parent. You trust. You find peace in yourself and you go, oh, wow, I can trust, I can relax. It's okay. And you, all of a sudden you notice, oh, you know what? All is well. All is unimaginably well. And you get to that level of peace where peace is who you are. Happiness is who you are. Because you see yourself as the bubble in the ocean, but you are the ocean too. You know that metaphor? And you can rest in that knowledge. You abide in that knowledge. And of course, you can have a little peace and happiness throughout the day, but then something comes about and disturbs that peace and happiness. And of course, it's a it's a zigzag route, isn't it? Comes and goes, and the monks or the great teachers will abide in that deep awakening, and it's never ending, it's never changing, it's on all the time. And that's what you'd like to get to, where if you're making the bed, you make it with love, or if you're doing the dishes, you make it with love, or you're walking and you're walking with love, or you're talking to somebody, you're talking with love. And it's unchanging, it doesn't change. But then maybe your wife says something, presses your buttons, and you go, ooh, you come out with something that disturbs your peace. So as we sit in the awareness of non-duality or oneness, and we understand the recognition of our true nature, which is the sun or the light of being, we bask in its glory and its awakened awareness. And it's kind of like, maybe it's an open ocean of spaciousness or void, or like this magnificent gap between thinking, between thoughts. And it's an openness, it's a spaciousness. And that's where we can live in. And it's a new way of living, a new way of being, rather than the continual dysfunction of the mind. The cloudiness of mind. And when we get there, we also recognize that we are the agents. We can be the controllers of our emotions. And that brings about and reduces suffering to such a great extent, doesn't it? Reducing our emotions. I'm not saying not to feel. Of course you need to feel. We're feeling creatures. I'm just saying that we can lower the volume of our feelings. The negative feelings, of course. So let's sit together and practice a little meditation. You can ask yourself that question. What is it that knows or is aware of my experience? And let it sit. Or you can self-inquire into, who am I? That's a good question too. Who am I? And let it sit without answering the question. Or if you like, you can use a mantra and focus the mind between the two eyebrows. And you just repeat the mantra in your mind over and over. Peace, peace, and peace, and so on. Thought comes in, that's okay, like whack-a-mole. You say, I see you, thought, and it disappears. And you go back to peace, peace. Very useful technique. Until you can sit in silence, the true nature of your being, silence, without words, without thought. And that's where all the juice is, you guys. It's such a great place to be. So let's practice together. And I'll take us out of meditation shortly. Very good. Now bring your awareness back to your senses. Good job, everyone. So as we complete our meditation today, we'll do a little metta meditation or loving kindness meditation. It's a Buddhist meditation that I like to do sometimes. It's a good day today. So with your eyes closed, recite in your mind these phrases. And repeat after me. May I be happy. And see yourself in your mind's eye as being happy. May I be happy. May I be healthy and strong. See yourself to be healthy and strong. May I live in a life of ease and comfort. May I live a life of ease and comfort. May I be safe and protected. May I hold my struggles with compassion and courage. May I live in peace. Good. Now, think of a loved one and see them in your mind's eye, and you'll direct the phrases to them. See them experiencing your phrases. So, may that person be happy. You could say their name in your mind. May that person be healthy and strong. May that person live a life of ease and comfort. May that person be safe and protected. May that person hold their struggles with courage and compassion. May that person live in peace. Good job. Now let's think about somebody that gives you a little difficulty in your life. Maybe it's somebody that's in the news, or someone that you no longer speak to, or a sibling, or somebody that gives you difficulty, that pushes your buttons maybe. See them in your mind's eye and say to them, may that person be happy. May that person be healthy and strong. May that person live a life of ease and comfort, and may they be safe and protected. May that person hold their struggles with courage and compassion, and may that person live in peace. Nice. And finally, let's do it for 8 billion people on the earth. May all beings be happy, and see all the human beings on planet Earth happy. May all beings be healthy and strong. May all beings live lives of ease and comfort, and may they be safe and protected. May all beings hold their struggles with courage and compassion. And may all beings be in peace. May all beings live in peace. Nice job. So as we go through our week, I would suggest that you notice what makes your heart expand and what makes it contract. And you might check it numerous times a day. And who makes your heart expand and who makes your heart contract? What activities makes your heart expand and what activities make your heart contract? Be aware of that. Be mindful of that this week. Hari Om, Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May peace pervade the universe. May peace pervade the universe. Hari Om, Amen. Great job, everyone. Thank you for coming to this meditation today. And I just want to say that I've been doing this, I guess, maybe it's 5 or 6 months, once a week. And it's been going rather well. I'd like to see it expand, of course. I'd like to have more people come to it. So if you know of anybody that would like to learn how to meditate or listen to talks on non-duality, because that's what I teach, and to bring more peace and happiness to your life, send them my link. You can go to my website, claritymind.com, and I've got a link on there that sends you to the registration page where you can register to get reminders and to get notifications for meditation on Sunday mornings. And also, I received my coaching degree in 2009 from the International Coaching Academy, accredited by the International Coaching Federation. And I'm a coach, so I coach others. And I help them with mindsets and limiting beliefs and achieving their goals and clarifying their minds, because that's what I do. That's what I love. If you know anybody that needs coaching, send them my way. So that's what I have for you today, folks. Great to see you. Have a great Sunday afternoon, and I'll see you again next Sunday. Okay. Bye for now.